For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Welcome, everybody, to another live and amplified livecast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are back at it again with another amazing podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Chris Hollacheck. How's it going today, Chris?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. We've got some tornadoes rolling in, but it'll be one of those wait and see type situations. So it's out here in Texas. This weather gets crazy sometimes.
Oh, definitely. I actually used to live in Texas. I lived in like San Antonio, New Braunfels. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm up in Waco, so that's not too far from me. So, but first off, I want to thank you so much for jumping on here and giving us time to chat a little bit about everything you got going on. I know you just dropped a new single 3 weeks ago, or coming up on 3 weeks.
About that, 3 weeks, I'd say.
Okay. And so I'm excited to talk about that. But before we get there and everything else you got going on in 2022, what's kind of your background? What got you into music?
Well, music's been something I've done most of my life. I started playing cello when I was 3, did like piano at 7, trumpet, baritone, euphonium, like 7th through 9th grade and stuff. And I kind of stopped for a bit, did the sports thing. And then it was one night after a high school playoffs game, I was benched the whole time. And I was just thinking like, man, I don't think football's for me. And I'm going to turn on the radio. I heard Brad Paisley, his song Ticks came on the radio. I started singing along to it. I'm like, hey, I forgot I'm kind of good at this music thing. Why don't I go back to that? And I did. And at college is when I taught myself guitar, and I started doing the songwriting then my freshman year, my dorm room, and the rest is history.
Gotcha. So when you were younger, were you more, obviously you kind of took a draw to more classical instruments, like with the cello and the piano and stuff like that. What was it about the cello, or was there something specific about it?
Well, my dad played cello for like decades, and it was one of those things. They're kind of, I'm like the junior and stuff, so they're trying to kind of get me to follow my dad's footsteps. A 3-year-old, though, it's kind of hard to keep motivated with that, but it was a cool kind of learning that skill at an early age. It helped open up the door for other instruments too.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And so you, where did you grow up? You grew up in North Carolina, correct?
Yes, in New Bern, North Carolina.
Wait, where in North Carolina is that? I know like the big cities, but
it's about 40 minutes from the beach. It's in between like Greenville and Jacksonville, about 2 hours southeast of Raleigh.
Okay, gotcha. And so you grew up there. Did you? How long have you're in Nashville at this point? How long have you been in Nashville?
Oh man, that's been another journey. I moved here from North Carolina in 2014, stayed here 2016, then picked up a day job that took me away. Yeah. And I went to Florida for about 6 months, and then that's when I went to Texas. I stayed there for 2 years and did music full time there, and then went back to that day job, which sent me back to Nashville. And I've been back here since 2019.
Gotcha. So you've moved around a little bit, and about, depending on where in Florida, about 6 months is all you can handle in Florida.
Yeah. I was in Pensacola, and it was definitely during like the summer months. So it was intense. But
wait a minute. When were you in Pensacola? Was that about
2016? It was
okay. That was before I moved to Tallahassee. I moved to Tallahassee in 2017.
Nice.
Yeah. And so the reason I asked is because I was curious if you were there during Hurricane Michael. That was a whole experience. So,
yeah, I don't think I was. I remember going down there for Hurricane Matthew, like my job. We did a storm assessment, like cleanup and stuff.
Gotcha. Cool. So now you're in Nashville. You started writing songs back in high school, correct? Is it that what you were saying?
Oh, yeah, I'd say more like my freshman year of college is when I really got started into like the writing side of things. And then I actually didn't really perform country music till right after I graduated college. So it's kind of taking little steps of courage, one step at a time, going up.
Gotcha. So, what was like? You'd mentioned the being benched during a football game, and then listening to the radio and remembering that you were good at the singing and doing the music. But was there a moment that you specifically remember that, okay, but I need to start taking this seriously outside of?
It kind of started building up. It was one of those things like, college. I don't know the exact moment. I remember thinking, how cool idea this is. And, and I just, I don't know. I kept talking about it to people, but I wasn't taking action. And eventually I was like, okay, I got to walk here. I can't keep talking about it and not follow up. So it was just kind of one of those things I just had to push myself slowly and just built the courage up more and more. And then college, once I graduated, that was the moment where I was like, okay, you don't have that holding you back now. Time to hustle.
Gotcha. So it was like a natural progression of you had the moment of, okay, I remember I'm good at music. Then you start experimenting, teaching yourself how to play guitar, and then you start singing along. Right? Am I getting this right? You start singing along, and then you start exploring with writing your own music. What was the journey like after you graduated college? Did you go straight to Nashville, or was there like some lag time?
There's definitely some lag time. I remember actually teaming up my buddy Ryan, who I met in my hometown, and now he lives in Florida, and I go play with him there. But anyways, we decided to do like a mini tour, like around the Southeast. We went down to Panama City back when they had this big spring breaks going on there. That was like the very first, just playing around parties and stuff. And then we went down like Daytona. We did 3 different rounds of that tour. And then, the second one was like down to Daytona and Savannah, and then the South Carolina, like Myrtle Beach. And then we did a little tour, or like a little loop through Nashville, App State, down in Mississippi and into Florida, and then up to Savannah. In fact, his car broke down almost to Savannah at the end of the leg. It was just that third round seemed like Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and it was just kind of our sign. Okay, we're done with this tour, and it was just one of those cool, humbling experiences in the beginning. Just a fun adventure, as in your early 20s kind of thing. Just experiencing life, and I did that, and then just kind of just worked some odd jobs, figuring out what I want to do with my life, and I just remember it was very hard getting a job in my degree right out of college. So I just kind of explored. I lived with my uncle in Raleigh for 6 months. I'm super thankful for to this day that he let me stay with him. And it was there that actually I worked at like night job, like stocking shelves at Target, and it was Target that got me to Nashville. I want to transfer with them, and I ended up transferring to Target in East Nashville. It was kind of my way out, and I just remember hating that job so much that it motivated me to get out of there.
But that's the one positive thing about working for a big company like that is if you're you may not like the job, but if you're trying to get somewhere, that could very much be the vehicle to get you to where, at least as far as geographically located, it can get you to where you want to go so you can do what you actually want to do. That's always been an interesting thing. But I do want to talk about that original tour that you did. I've always thought it would be a really good idea for musicians to tour during spring break and hit up all the like spring break hotspots. Like if you've got that kind of music that plays at college parties or can play at college parties. I always thought that would be a really cool and unique experience, like going on spring break without actually having to deal with spring break.
Yep.
And so that's amazing that you did that. And you also did one thing that I tell a lot of young musicians that are just coming out of high school or whatever. They ask, like, what should I do? I want to play music for a living. It's like, well, just get out there and start playing. Like, go hit the road. Like, go until you either have no money to go any further or you get to where you want to be. So.
Yep. Yeah. Just go out there. That's the time to go out there, be stupid, make mistakes. That's the best time to do it, best time to learn. And it definitely builds foundation for yourself as you get older in your career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So you get through working at Target, you find yourself in Nashville. Once you started taking music seriously as a potential profession, was it always kind of the idea to get to Nashville, or was that just kind of where did going to Nashville kind of come into play and everything?
Oh, that was the goal since the beginning of college when I started doing the songwriting. That was my goal. Like, and if I could go back, I would have maybe lived in the present moment a little more and enjoyed being. I went to school at UNC Wilmington, North Carolina, and I would have, just enjoyed that moment a lot more. I remember spending my whole time just wanting to get out of there, get in Nashville, and I didn't enjoy my time there enough. But Nashville, that's always been the goal since I first started songwriting.
Yeah, I've got a few friends in Wilmington. I haven't been there yet, but hopefully someday soon Wilmington will get checked off the old bucket list of friends that I got to visit. So, but yeah, you're 100% right. Just the stuff that you look back at, and it's like, man, I wish I would have just enjoyed the moment that I was in instead of worrying about the next step.
Yeah,
that's kind of the issue that I'm seeing myself in right now. Is I need to be enjoying where I'm at. Right now, I'm so focused on. I'm in kind of the same boat. I'm so focused in on getting to Nashville right now that I'm in Texas, and I just need to kind of enjoy where I'm at.
Right.
And that's been kind of hard because of the pandemic. I moved here right before the pandemic hit, and we've been on, like weird COVID restrictions for a year and a half. And now it's just kind of like, oh, hey, I can actually go out and do stuff if I wanted to. So I need to kind of enjoy the moment. So so you get to Nashville via Target. Did you start doing writers rounds, or what kind of happened once you got to Nashville?
Well, actually had one of those crazy situations where I found the place I rented from like on Craigslist, and I didn't know any of my roommates, but ironically one of my roommates ended up being my producer like down the line. And I pretty much just hung around my roommates, went wherever they went, because I had another one. Both of them had, experience in Nashville. So I just kind of followed them around and just kind of got the ropes and just explored and did a bunch of open mics. I never really got into too many of the ride arounds that first stint in Nashville. Be honest with you, my musical skills still weren't top. They weren't necessarily top notch or anything. So, again, just getting out there and playing, that's definitely the best thing you can do. But at the same time, I probably would have taken more like, lessons from other people. And it wasn't until I went to Texas, fast forward. And that's when I actually started doing like vocal coaching and guitar lessons and just kind of refining my craft a bit. And I didn't do that before. And I didn't get too many opportunities with the ride arounds because of that. But, you live and you learn. And I learned a lot about the industry during that time, like the insides, just kind of how it works. And I definitely don't regret any of it at all.
For sure. And then was it in Texas or when you got back out to Nashville that you started recording and releasing music?
Actually my first, I did like an EP with my roommate who became my producer. However, again, I never released it because I didn't think my singing was that good on that one. And then I recorded another EP again in Texas. I did release that. However, I again was not satisfied with my singing on that, and I eventually took that one down, but I had it up there for a bit. And then the first single that's still up there is called Naughty Thing, Knotty, Naughty. That one I released in January 2019. That was the very first recorded single, and that was in Texas about 6 months before I left to go back to Nashville. So that's kind of when the whole recording part of my career started.
Gotcha. And so Naughty Thing, it just kind of made the cut as far as what you thought, where it was up to par to still be out there, or?
Yeah, I had actually had a promoter for that one, and just the guys I was working with, it just I don't know what it was. They had a very good very good musicians. I had by that point in my musical career, I like kind of knew my voice a little better and was able to fit the key at the key that I was able to not have to string too much, and it just kind of all those things come together, worked out where it finally made the cut. I felt like the songwriting was pretty great, and that's kind of where I was on that.
Gotcha. No, that makes perfect sense. And so then kind of fast forwarding a little bit, after you release Naughty Things, you come back to Nashville and then you start just banging out singles, is because
that's actually when I teamed back up with my producer, who was my roommate. And he had a label of his own, and I joined with him and eventually became a co-owner. And we got together and got with a couple promoters here and did 2 more singles, and we released those actually right when COVID hit. So it's kind of that was the real beginning of my recording, careers during COVID, which kind of worked out because I had nothing but time to record, do online stuff and build my online presence, and it kind of worked out in a weird way.
Yeah, for sure. It was one of those things where I think COVID was like that great moment of you're going to find out who's really about their music. And you've seen a lot of people rise to the occasion. You've seen a lot of people not rise to the occasion. And it's been a really interesting couple of years to kind of see it play out. A lot of musicians kind of hung it up once COVID was going on for a little bit. They're like, I'm hanging it up. It's just not worth it to me anymore. And the musicians like yourself were like, no, this is the time to strike. That sounds really weird to say it that way, but it's 100% accurate. It's like now's the time to make your move, which kind of brings me to the next point. Your most recent single, which is Remind Me of You. You've released a music video for it. It's been out for about 3 weeks or so. I think that's kind of what we determined was 3 weeks. What's kind of the what's the original idea behind the song? What's the song about?
Actually did write that during COVID, I believe. And it was just about a, past lover, just reminiscing on them, just thinking about the good times you had with them. Wasn't, I guess if you had, could take them back, you would, but at the same time can't. So, but it's good to remember the good times you had with them. And I feel like I don't make it too much of a Debbie Downer because the upbeat tempo, I feel like it kind of, if anything, it's kind of motivating with that upbeat tempo, and it's hopefully relate to anybody who's going through that and pick them up from whatever dump they're in, or if they're
Gotcha. And you recorded this with your roommate as well. This is another.
Unfortunately not. He passed away from COVID right after Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my song "Tootsy the Pines," that was the last song I did with him, and then the song "I'll Ever Need" that I had released in January. I was in the works of like showing him that, and then that kind of happened out of nowhere. He caught it and went and went ahead and released it in his honor. And so it's kind of been first couple songs without him, which has been weird, but same time, you got to keep moving on regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And so with that in mind, is the idea to kind of continually do singles for now, or do you see yourself eventually working to an album?
I mean, I'd like to do an album one day. Just for right now, where I'm at in my career, it makes more sense financially, and just with Spotify and their algorithm to do singles. I'll do I was going to do 6 songs originally this year, but kind of had to cut down to 4 because just for budgeting and stuff. Because the people I'm working with now, they're pretty high quality people, and I'm getting connected with some heavy hitters in town in Nashville. But at the same time, you do got to pay for that, and I'd rather have a few high quality songs and a bunch of songs that are kind of mid quality.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's the one thing about Nashville is you're going to find talent everywhere, but none of them are going to work for free because they can go somewhere else and get paid. So, so for this song, remind me of you. What did you decide to release a music video along with this one? Was this your first music video?
No, I've had I think this is my 5th music video.
Okay.
Again, and this the team I've been working with for a music video, or I started working with them with Oliver Need, and they kind of they're ones who kind of brought these ideas about the different like food places with the girl fishing, and just the effects of where she disappears from the lawn chair on the lake, and then where I'm running into the memory towards the end. They have some really cool I guess out there ideas that are something nobody else thinks of. I think are pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And the actress in the movie, she's also in a band in Nashville, correct?
Yes, she is with a band called Roanoke. They have like a Fleetwood Mac kind of style indie rock, I guess you say. And, she's also she was in Lee Bryce's music video Soul. She's the bride in that, so she's definitely a hustler in town. Comes to music and acting.
Nice. It's always good to have like people like that you could turn to, that if you ever needed somebody, at least now you got her contact. Had you worked with her prior, or was this the first time you'd worked with her?
This is the first time I worked with her. We've had a different actress for each single, and the people doing the music video videographers are usually the ones who find the actresses.
Okay.
I like to have different faces for, each song is a different emotion. So I don't want like the same actress on each one, because it's a different feel. I don't want the love gone right girl being the love gone wrong girl. I feel like that gives a bad message.
That's fair. That's very fair. And so for the music video, you'd mentioned that the company you'd worked with had some ideas on how to like portray some certain things, but the whole concept of the video, was that your idea, or was it all their idea and you just kind of told them what you were looking for?
I think it was a joint idea, really. I guess they were listening to the lyrics over and over, and that's just what they got out of it. The part driving down the road and stuff, that's definitely something, I had in mind originally as well. Definitely had to have some pickup scenes with the girl. I mean, that's what country song wouldn't have that kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure. And so that video released the same day as the single as well, or did it?
I always release the music videos on Mondays. For some reason, that's statistically the best day to release a music video. I don't know why, but it is.
Gotcha.
Friday are the best days to release a single on streaming.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think for the singles, that's just kind of the day everybody's grown accustomed to. I didn't now that you mention it, the Monday thing, I think that probably goes back to like when TRO was a thing. That's kind of when all the new music videos dropped, was on Monday. So
Gotcha.
that, I think, don't quote me on that, but I could be 100% wrong. But so music videos out now, the singles out now, and you'd mentioned that you're in the process. You still got 2 more singles to release this year?
Yeah. We're actually working on the music video for my next single. We did some stuff yesterday, and we're gonna do either Thursday or Friday. We're gonna do some more. We got an actress on that one as well, and yeah, can't reveal the name of that one yet. It's a surprise, but it's definitely a fun song, very different from what I usually do, and could be a potential direction I start heading with my music.
Nice.
It's yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Gotcha. And do you have a rough release time frame, or is it still just very much in early stages?
No, we got it pretty much almost the final master version done. We're making a few tweaks, but it originally I was going to release it in May, but now cutting down the 4 songs, I'm probably going to wait till June, early to mid June sometime to release it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're only releasing 4 songs this year, releasing one in May, and then only having 1 more to release for the entire year, it's cutting yourself a little thin. But it's one of those things where, I understand why you had to cut it down to 4, because budget is everything, especially there in Nashville. So, and so that's hopefully coming out we'll say early summer. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was trying to be like, wait, when does summer actually begin? But we'll say early summer. What's kind of going through your mind right now as you're still trying to promote the last single and prepping, knowing you have this new single that's coming up right behind it?
Well, pretty much, I'm letting this one kind of ride out a bit. I kind of, originally my release schedule, like my I'll Ever Need song, I kind of, looking back, wish I would have given that a little more time to kind of grow on people before I release Remind Me of You. But, they're all kind of playing off each other, so it works out in the long run. But I just had a gut feeling to kind of let this one, give it a little more time, as a center of attention. And just kind of let it do its thing. I'm getting ready to do music full time again, and leaving my day job in May. So it's giving me time to get finances in order, and just get the tour schedule ready, and just just get everything in line before I start getting back into to the next release, and then working on the next release and stuff.
Gotcha. You brought up working on tour schedules. How often are you actually playing shows right now?
Right now, specifically, I'm not playing any shows, but May is when I ramp up playing, and it's going to be about early to mid-May. I'll be starting a tour actually in Texas.
I did catch that on your Facebook page. I was trying to see if you came anywhere near me, but I didn't get too deep into the schedule. So I saw like San Antonio was on the list, a couple different.
I'm actually playing in Austin on May 12th at the Carousel Lounge, and of course there's still a lot of dates up in the air. So I could very well be playing more shows around there. I am potentially picking another show up in Houston, name the venue, but they're that Sunday after the San Antonio show.
Gotcha. And then are you going out to West Texas at all, or are you just kind of staying in Central, South?
I'm kind of staying in the central area. That's where I was when I lived in Texas, and that was the main area I played at. So that's where I think most of my existing fans there in Texas are in that area. Gotcha. So I'm kind of sticking around there.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that drive out to West Texas is that is an interesting drive. I will put it that way.
Oh, definitely. I drove all the way from San Antonio to Denver. I remember stopping in Amarillo, and it's definitely a whole different life out there. It's just such a huge state. Like, people don't realize it's like 12 hours from one side to the other, and it's just it's such a diverse state, like all over, just so many different parts of it.
Yeah. I remember the first time I traveled through Texas. I was driving down to Florida to go to a bluegrass festival, and my partner and I had been on the road for like 14 hours already. And my mom called me and she was like, "Hey, so where are you at? Are you in Florida yet?" And I'm like, "No, we're just leaving Texas." "What time did you guys leave?" Like 2 this morning." "What time is it now?" "Like 4 p.m. "You're telling me it took you 14 hours to get through Texas?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it took us 14 hours to get through Texas." And that's like half the trip right there. So, and I looked over to my co-host and partner in Live and Amplified, and I was just like, yeah, that was a real conversation we just had. So, but Texas is huge, and especially West Texas, like just it's flat, it's boring, it's rough. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different world compared to Texas I lived in.
Yeah, for sure. So you're ramping up your tour schedule. Once you get like shows back full, how often would you really like to be playing?
Well, I mean, they got me playing. They're trying to get me doing like week long little tours, like once a month at least. But I don't know, they're starting to ramp it up even more. I'm kind of going all over like the Midwest and Southeast mainly. They got me Illinois, Indiana. I know back in my home state, North Carolina, they got me playing some Virginia, like Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, just all around it. And they're kind of they're really filling up the schedule for me. I'm very impressed. My team, it's just going to be it'll be a fun ride.
For sure. And this is all through B Squared, right? Or is this through? Okay. Gotcha. I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. I was trying to figure out how you got in contact with us, because I always like to keep a mental note on it. Like if it's through a PR company or whoever it's through, like to just kind of keep mental notes. And I was looking through your Facebook page and I saw a lot of B Squared posts and I was like, okay, that's got to be how you got introduced.
Definitely. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the New Year's kind of when I started working with on my team, like my producers, my videographers, and the B Squared, like all of them I started working with at the same time. It was kind of like a whole new chapter of life.
Yeah, for sure. And so you kick off tour in May. Hopefully you'll be releasing the new single. I said releasing the new single. And as the year kind of progresses, then you'll have the fourth single. Where are you kind of at creatively right now? Obviously you've got the two singles that we've been talking about coming up, but are you just continually writing, or do you kind of take a hiatus when you get ready to go out on tour and stuff?
So the single I got planning for after one I released this summer. I honestly still don't know which song. It's like I have multiple songs I have to choose from, but honestly I think the song I'm going to release, I haven't even written yet. That's kind of why I went to Costa Rica. It's going to clear my mind and kind of regroup. And I'm definitely feeling something about the brew out of my head and get something down, maybe even better. And, like I said, I'm kind of looking at going a whole different direction in my music, maybe with my singles in the future coming. And so for all I know, it could be a song I haven't even written yet, but I'll have it together soon. This is kind of whenever it comes.
Gotcha. No, that makes perfect sense. I should have asked that question first if you knew what the fourth single was going to be, but no, that's awesome that you're just kind of keeping it fresh and not committing yourself to something that's like an already old song or like whatever. I say already an old song, but a song that's been in your arsenal or played a whole bunch of like live shows and whatnot. So you got those four songs, and there'll be a music video for the third one, and I'm assuming for the fourth one as well?
Yeah, I try to do a music video for every song. Like that's just all the studying I've done online for like music promoting and stuff. You if there's anything you're going to budget money for, it's definitely a good producer and a good videographer. Those are like the two most important things I feel like for releasing singles these days. And so I got to have the visuals with it. It draws people in. It shows a story. And just growing up watching music videos for each song I liked, I have to do music video for each one.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. It's one of those things on the independent level. It feels like music videos are almost a lost art form because it costs you all this money to produce it, but there's very little in return that comes from it as far as like direct return. But if you kind of look at it, if you produce a music video, more than not, your streams are higher, or, like there's a whole bunch of like loss, like you could look at it as a loss leader where you're like indirectly making money off of it. But a lot of musicians look at it directly and say, no, I'm not making any money from this. So,
yeah, I just view it as like a snowball effect. Like I know right now it's not directly making a bunch of money, if anything, spending, but I know like the more, I build on one another, the more eventually will. I just keep the faith no matter what, that it will eventually, break even and go into a surplus.
For sure. And so, you've got the new single out now, new single dropping in May, and then we'll say end of the year for 2022. And then you got the big tour coming up in May out here in Texas. What after kind of everything, what is the outlook looking like past 2022, or have you not planned that far ahead?
I haven't planned out specifics yet, but I'll just have to see where my budget is at that point. I'm doing the music full time and all that. I'd say, just something similar to this year. I would like to try to release 6 singles if I can next year, but again, I'm not going to stress if I can't. It's just, I don't want to sacrifice quality for budget. So whatever I can do, that's what I'm going to do, and just kind of just keep building more and more with each single.
Gotcha. That's sounds about right. You just do what you can and don't try and stretch your budget and overexert yourself. So kind of outside of music, once you get outside of music and you need some time to decompress from everyday life, what are some of your hobbies? What do you do outside of music?
Definitely. I like going hiking. Definitely just traveling, even non-music related, just go up the road to Kentucky right here and take a day trip. That's a lot of fun. And, working out, I do like yoga and meditation too, kind of help stay keeping my mind right without having to drink or anything like that. I don't do too much drinking anymore like I used to, so I try to keep the healthy habits. Then I was doing MMA and jiu-jitsu as well beginning of the year, but then I ended up cracking one of my ribs. And the guys got me good and kneed me right there, so I had to back away from that for a bit. So we'll see if I get back in. I do need to go back into that regardless, just to, it's good skills to have and stuff. So I'm doing that, and just traveling, seeing the world, or whatever I can see. I like to go out and see. I'm not the type of person that likes to be a homebody for too long. I get itchy when I'm home too long. Yeah.
It's, on the podcast last night, I was talking to somebody that travels, like they have a RV, and then they just travel around and play their music. And I was like, man, I wish I just had the not ability, but just the willingness to do that, because it's like, I love traveling. I love getting out, but I also love the security of having a stable paycheck. And as much as I'd love to live on the road and just kind of live free and nomadic, it's like, I kind of enjoy just not having to worry about where my money's going to come from or what my next meal, or, while it's fun and exciting, after a while, it's just like, I'm good.
Yeah. And that's actually why I'm doing, like on the side as well, like DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. I've signed up for all of those. And, I know like Lyft and DoorDash, cool thing about those are you can do those in any town. Like Uber's limited to Nashville if you're in Nashville. So you can only do that town if that's the town you sign up for. But those other two apps you can do wherever. So that's what I'll be doing like while touring on my off time if I'm not getting paid too much for a show or something, I can make up for it with that. And I'm hoping that will keep me at least at the same income level as I'm with my day job and make the, exit not such a hard blow.
Yeah. That would be really interesting if you were like out doing Lyft before a show and then you ended up giving somebody a lift to your show.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, that'd be a cool little surprise for somebody.
It'd be really interesting. And it would be interesting to see how the guest would react.
Definitely.
So, cool. But I don't want to keep you too much longer here. So if people want to check out your music or see your schedule or interact with you on social media, where's the best place to do that?
I'd say, I'm more on Instagram these days. Facebook, I get a lot of messages on my artist page, so I don't check that as much. I'm more likely to check like my DMs on Instagram. So that's probably the best place to hit me up. Chris_Hollacheck, or you just type in Chris Hollacheck, you'll find me there. Facebook and then TikTok. I got two. I'm starting to try to get into that a little more. It's a whole different art form there, but educate myself. YouTube, big on. That's where all my music videos are. And of course, like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, all the stream platforms, you can find me there.
Yeah, for sure. You're doing really well consistently uploading to your YouTube channel. I envy that. I try so hard to be consistent on our YouTube channel, but it's just like, it's not easy. And that's the key to success on YouTube. It's just consistency.
Definitely. And that's something I'm about to get back into now a little more. This Costa Rica trip really helped me kind of channel in what's important. I was getting too caught up in like the numbers and stuff, like followers, subscribers, how many streams I'm getting, and this trip just really helped me realize, no, I need to be having fun doing music. And it just shows in like the energy when you're playing. Like if you're enjoying yourself, I feel like it gets better results, and that's what I got to focus on more. And that's I'm looking into making some more acoustic videos again. So we'll see how my new energy, I guess, does.
Awesome. Did you get a chance to play while you were in Costa Rica, or was it just purely?
Yes, it was kind of a retreat in a way. And I met a whole bunch of new friends there, and I played often, and I just got such a great reception from all the friends there. Yeah, they're all new, like lifelong friends. And I just, they were saying like my music was healing to them. That was like one of the best feelings ever to hear that. And that just kind of motivated me to kind of go this new direction I'm wanting to go in music. And that's the goal at the end of the day. It's relating to people, being there for them. If it's healing them, absolutely healing them. Just trying to better the world with music. That's the number one goal at the end of the day.
For sure. You have mentioned a few different times that you're kind of heading in a new direction. Is that like more of a style change or a lyrical, like meaning behind the lyrics? What kind of change are you looking at making?
Maybe more on like the spiritual side, or more positive, uplifting music. I mean, I guess the sad songs have their place, but I want to explain it. Just more spiritual, I guess.
More positive and reaffirming is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like Christian country or anything like that, but it's more like, I guess it could be in that category too, but just something that's going to be uplift people. And just again heal people. Yeah. That's the goal.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. But once again, I do want to thank you for taking the time to sit down and chat with us. It's been an absolute blast. Anybody out there that's listening and wants to check out Chris Hollacheck, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I almost said Twitter. You're not on Twitter, are you?
No, that's the one I'm not on.
Yeah. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then of course Spotify. You can check out all his singles, Chris Hollacheck, and then where can they find all the dates for the upcoming shows and whatnot?
I'll be posting that on Facebook, Instagram. Once it gets closer to that time, I'll post like a picture of all the dates and stuff, and then I do have a link tree as well, Chris Hollacheck at the end, where I'll have all that info as well. Okay. Soon.
All right, perfect. Well, once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you all later.